Hey, I'm Ross Murphree. I'm with Olde Tyme Grocery. We've been serving po' boys in Lafayette, Louisiana since 1982. All right, so my dad, Glenn Murphree, is from Chalmette, which is a little south of New Orleans, I guess. Grew up there. He came here to USL in, I believe, 1977, and did a few odd jobs here and there. Drove a beer truck for Schilling, delivering kegs for a few years. A couple other odd jobs, and in May of 1982 he purchased what was then called Olde Tyme Grocery, which is what we are still, as a small grocery store right here, right off campus in what's called the St. Street area of Lafayette. It operated as a grocery store, serving the people of the neighborhood, the professors or the college kids or the old ladies that lived here in the neighborhood. They had aisles of groceries in the store. They could get their bread and their milk and their corn and what have you. And there was a small deli case, which attracted him. So from being from New Orleans, he grew up eating po' boys. Actually, there's a story that he worked one day or 2 days in a po' boy shop in New Orleans as about a 15-year-old, and got reprimanded for cutting onions incorrectly, and walked out and swore he would never work in a po' boy shop, and then look what happened, right? So he bought it actually on his birthday. In May of 1982 was when the sale took place, and he went to the bank for some change and was open later that afternoon. So the original first few years, he was making maybe 5-10 sandwiches a day, just deli meats, and over time, he was renting the building at first, and then a few years later he ended up purchasing the building. But he lived in the back here. You might get some shots of that later. He lived in what now are our bathrooms, and operated the store in the front. And over time it became super popular with a lot of the college kids, and as Lafayette has grown over the years, of course we have as well. So yeah, it was a grocery store turned into a famous po' boy shop. That was the name when he bought it. The building or the business was owned and operated over the course of probably 50 or 70 years prior by a couple different families. The names escape me. I know that there was the Perrios, and I think the Martins were a family. And very briefly before he bought the business, a man purchased it and operated it and changed the name to Olde Tyme Grocery. And so he bought it from that man as Olde Tyme Grocery and just kept the name. What does it mean to be a Louisiana restaurant? Well, that's a good question. A lot of pride, man. Louisiana is known for its flavors, its mix of different cultures, right? The Creole and the Acadian and anything and everything, right? Especially South Louisiana. So when people think of food in Louisiana, they think of what? New Orleans and Lafayette. Little known, Lafayette has actually received a lot of awards for being the best tasting town in the South, so we have that to our belt. So we're proud, not in a boastful way, in a humble way. Our culture, Louisiana in general, we're very humble people, hardworking, blue-collar people, and so I think our food represents that. Our food is made to feed big families. You go to your aunts or down the street, there's a big old bowl of food there, a jambalaya or a pasta or a big old sandwich. And so Louisiana is known for its hospitality, for welcoming people in, for treating them like family, and so we're proud of that. So how has Lafayette and USL been a contributing factor to Olde Tyme? It's grown over the years. Lafayette has historically been an oil field town, of course the nickname the Hub City, right? And so that's been a large part of the economy over the years. USL, formerly SLI back in the day, and then about 25 years ago changed to UL Lafayette. That's grown as well. I think we have somewhere around maybe 20,000 students, undergrad and postgrad now. Both have grown since we've been in business. Since in 44 years that we've been in business, both the city of Lafayette and the university have grown. For a lot of different reasons. A lot of it has to do with culture, way of life, quality of life here. and our business has benefited because of it. There's something special about the Raging Cajuns, right? That's unique, that's different. Lafayette and the Acadiana, the surrounding area, the 9 or 10 parishes that surround Lafayette, which we know as Acadiana. There's a lot of festivals here. There's a lot of culture. People come in from all over the world to see what we do and why we do it. So Olde Tyme's grown with that, and we're blessed for it. How has USL contributed in impacting Olde Tyme Grocery? Significantly. Being a couple blocks off campus, number one, a large portion of our workforce are college kids. And that's a blessing. It keeps the environment lively and active. And Lafayette's kind of a college town, right? Not that it goes empty when school's out, but having a college as a central part of your town brings a different energy and a different environment to the culture, and we're blessed because of that. So we have fun working with the college kids. We're blessed to have responsible ones that work hard, and people say kids don't know how to work these days. That's not true. There's plenty of them that do. It just changes over the years. And we work them hard, and they appreciate it. Not everybody lasts, but in general, the university has been a big part of our success over the years. Obviously, we're painted red and white, so we're kind of themed with the university. If you look at all the walls here, there's a lot of Raging Cajun memorabilia, pictures, jerseys, helmets. The athletic trainers will call us and ask us if we'll swap sandwiches for gear sometimes. So we're very connected with the university. With the sports program has, of course, grown over the years, but the university, the institution itself, is sought after for all the different programs, engineering and nursing and mathematics. And so academically, we're unique as well. So we've benefited from that because it brings more eyes into the area. And so as the university has grown, as the enrollment has grown, our business has benefited because of that. And it's a mutually beneficial relationship. We do what we can to support the university in whatever way we can, be it feeding the teams or just being a home for the people when they come in. A lot of them maybe move out of town to go work. A lot of them are in Houston and Dallas and Texas. And when they come to visit family over the holidays, this is the first place they come. Are there any fanfare items that customers keep coming back for? Shrimp. It's our most popular item, the fried shrimp po' boy. It's 60 to 70% of our business. And we have a lot of different sandwiches, but I mean, when you think of Olde Tyme Grocery, and what people talk about is our fried shrimp. So what is something about Olde Tyme Grocery that most people may not know? Probably a lot of the history, but I guess right now in this moment, we have a snowball stand around the back, and we have a wonderful outside patio. And part of it's covered and closed in, so it's not terribly hot over the summer. There's many more things. I could probably ramble off stories that would blow people's minds, but just the history of Olde Tyme, and that it actually was a grocery store, and how it's evolved over the years. A lot of people say it hasn't changed, but it has, and so that's kind of the beauty of it, is that we can keep evolving and growing and changing, but also keep the core of what we are and who we are and the soul of Olde Tyme. It's almost a myth. Yeah. Glenn Murphree from Chalmette, Louisiana, with no money, no experience, just a hard-working mindset and a never-quit attitude, buys a grocery store in Lafayette, which was a no-name place at the time. Nobody knew what Lafayette was, and built an icon. In Olde Tyme, we have multiple businesses and a lot of other stuff that we deal with, but of course this is the flagship. And for somebody to do what he did, it's truly amazing. It's awe-inspiring. It's daunting to think, like, myself, to be called upon to carry it on into the next generation. I certainly couldn't do what he did, and I'm blessed to have the platform that he gave. He and my mom gave myself and my brothers and sisters a heck of a platform to build from, and it's inspiring, it's scary, and it motivates me for sure. Again, we see a lot of a lot of staff members from UL. We feed them whether they come in here or we're catering their meetings, like or the students. So it's really cool just to be geographically right in the middle of everything, but also just culturally right in everybody's hearts, right? It's kind of a rite of passage for a student here, which is really cool for us. Like we'll see on the preview days, right, when they're visiting and their parents are here, there'll be groups of them that come in and they may know each other, they may not know each other. They introduce themselves over here like, oh, hey, you're going to be in school, maybe we'll meet up, and then we might actually hook them in and say, hey, you need to come apply for a job over here. Or we have a lot of second and third generation employees whose parents or older brothers or somebody that they knew worked here, right? And so that's really cool. It makes me feel old to have worked with or managed somebody's mom or dad or older brother at one point. But it's really cool to see. Over the years, we've probably had, I don't know, 10,000 employees in 45 something years. And again, most of them were university students. And so it makes it fun. It makes it challenging, but it's part of who we are, and it's part of why people love us.
Last question. What does the future look like for Olde Tyme Grocery?
So that's challenging. So what does the future look like? For me to continue to carry that on, maybe do some physical projects that every so often we'll add a patio or cut a wall open and change things, and that's important, right? But I think one of the long-term goals for myself is we have a really popular brand, regionally speaking, as Lafayette has its roots along the I-10 corridor, right? Whether it's Baton Rouge or New Orleans or Gulf Shores or Houston or Dallas, mainly in Texas. I hope to be able to open new Olde Tymes. Texas is of course a big dream of mine. But Baton Rouge is not off limits. I don't know if we go to New Orleans. I have a brother-in-law that owns a po' boy shop in New Orleans, so I don't want to be his competition. He owns Parkway Bakery in New Orleans, so if you're there, check him out. But my personal dream is to open up in Houston and then see where that goes. I think that would be fun. It's scary. It's a big jump, but I think our brand can do well there. If you're ever visiting Lafayette, for a campus visit or coming through for a festival or a baseball tournament or whatever, or thinking about moving here, come check us out. We're just a few blocks off of campus, and we'd love to see you. We'd love to have you part of the family.